Hey friends, welcome to Post, it's Neil here. I have been challenged by one of you to, I guess not really react, but whenever I see a logo, I gotta say the first player that reminds me of that logo. So someone has sent me 32 logos, and I'm to look at them one at a time, and I gotta say the first name that comes to mind. I have been told that these are not all modern logos. Some are older. So I don't really know how quickly I'm going to be able to say some of the names. Like if it's a Detroit Red Wings logo from their inception, or in the mid 30s or something like that, I have no idea who played back then. So I'm not going to be able to say names that old. I'm thinking that they'll probably be, at least in my era, I'm in my mid 30s, so hopefully it's in that range of early 90s or even mid 80s to now. But you can play along. You can say it at the same time I do, and we can have some fun. I'm not exactly sure what to expect, but let's give this a go. I got file names in front of me, and they are by abbreviation. So whenever we do the Jersey concept videos on Friday, it'll be in the same kind of order. So first is Anaheim. I will bring this up on my screen. Okay, Teemu Selanne. That's an easy one. Okay, Whew, okay. I was nervous about this. I don't know why, but the first one got it off the chest. Easy one, definitely Teemu Selanne. Okay. Next should be Boston. No, Arizona, sorry. Shane Doan. Okay. Another kind of easy one. So it was the Kajina logo back into the 90s here with this one. So we're good there. Next is Boston. Ray Bork. So the original Pooh Bear logo back then, technically you could say maybe a modern player as well based on the reverse retro. However, I think the intention was probably for that original logo. So Ray Bork is my answer there. Next, Daniel Briere for the goat head. I was trying to think of who else I would have said if it wasn't Daniel Briere. And I actually don't know. Maybe I guess Dominic Hasek, but other than that, I don't know. That's a fun one. Justin Williams, I guess. I could have said any recent player. This works. This spans a long time. So Justin Williams, I guess, was the first name that came to mind. Rick Nash. Rick Nash. I like this logo. Good choice on this one. Thank you for picking this one. It wasn't really a challenging one, but it was a good one. A very specific one. I could have said Mark Denis as well, but Rick Nash. Now, Jerome McGinley. I don't know why I stumbled there a little bit. Clearly, this is, to me, Jerome McGinley. I don't even know if there's any player that really stands out maybe as much as Jerome McGinley for this logo. So, yeah, this was a fun one. Next, Jonathan Taves. I was going to say Jeremy Roenick, but I don't know if there was a variation between the logo from the mid-90s or early 90s, I guess, to the current one. I think they've changed a couple of little details. In that split second, I was trying to figure out if it was the modern one or the couple of previous versions of the minor tweaks. Either way, Jeremy Roenick, Jonathan Taves, regardless of what timeline this comes from, those are the two names that came out to me immediately. Adam Foote, and not because there's a foot on here. Adam Foote played for the Colorado Avalanche in the mid-90s, won the Cup with them in 1996, and this is the famous shoulder patch logo from that era. Adam Foote, great defenseman. Oh, Mooner's, Mike Modano. I said Joe Modano. That's not even a person. Mike Modano. Definitely Mooner's, Mike Modano. Next, the Red Wings logo, this is like the current one, Zetterberg, even though he's not a current player. Recent player in history, Zetterberg. That was, I guess, an easy one. They haven't really changed their logo in a long time. Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith for this one, going back into the mid-2000s for Ryan Smith with this one. COG logo. Good stuff. Okay, next. John Van Briesbroek. One of the greatest logos in NHL history. The Florida Panthers had this logo in 1996 when they faced the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals. John Van Briesbroek. What a goalie. What a goalie. Anze Kopitar. I don't know why that was the name that came to mind. I could have said, I think Luc Robitaille was still on the team at this point. But Anze Kopitar, I think in his rookie year, wore this jersey, maybe even after that. I can't remember exactly the year that they switched, but he definitely wore this jersey and this logo. So Anze Kopitar is the name. Mikko Koivu, because he was my favorite player on the team, long-standing. This is the current logo. I could have said really anyone on the team. So Mikko Koivu is going to be my answer. Saku Koivu, his brother who played for the Montreal Canadiens and wore this jersey in 2009 or 2010. Might have been 2010, actually, when they wore this jersey. And, Sako Koivu, my all-time favorite player. Scott Stevens? It's Scott Stevens, I guess. My brain went mid 90s, even though this is the current logo. I could have said a bunch of people, but I went mid 90s because that's when I hated the Devils. But I love the Devils because I always did really, really well in hockey pools in the playoffs because they had so many players that could just, like, Scott Gomez was good back then. Who else? Who was the other guy? Brian Gionta was good. They had Scott Stevens, who wasn't offensively good, but he could just lay the body. Who else was it? A super random name. I could look this up. Devils 2002 roster. Okay, I need to see the names. I'm thinking Patrick Elias was probably on the team as well. There's a specific name I'm trying to think of, though. Jamie Langenbrunner. That's the name I was trying to think of. Absolutely. Rafalski. Man, what a lineup this was actually back then in the early 2000s. Martin Brodeur was as well. Would have been a great one. But yeah, so many great players on that team. A good memory. Not a big Devils fan, obviously, but great team back then. Hated watching them. So boring, but great team. Roman Josi, I guess, for the Nashville Predators. Roman Josi. Yep, let's go. Ooh, I want to say Aaron Asham, but he didn't wear this. Ziggy Palffy is the next name that came to mind. I don't know why I thought of Aaron Asham. That is a super random name to think of. He did play the Islanders, I think, after the Fisherman was a thing, but he was not like even close to one of their best players. It's one of their worst players. But Aaron Asham, I don't know why that name came to mind, but I'm highly confident that he did not wear the Fisherman. So, but Ziggy Palffy did. So Ziggy Palffy's my answer. I guess I technically got this one wrong because I didn't say that first, but oh well. Next, Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky for the Liberty logo, for sure. Daniel Alfredson, I guess for this one, a bit of a throwback. I think that one, most people probably said Daniel Alfredson. Jeremy Roenick, again. Jeremy Roenick twice in this video. I believe he was around on the team when the Flyers did wear this logo on that jersey. It wasn't for very long, maybe 5 years at the most. And in those years, they didn't wear it very much. So I'm hoping that he wore this jersey. But yeah, Jeremy Roenick. All right, next. Mario Lemieux. Could have said Yager. There's so many. Tom Barrasso. Like, there's so many names on that team that you could have said. But Mario Lemieux was the first one. Jordan Eberle. I mean, it's their current logo. It's a new team. Whatever. Patrick Marleau. I almost said Marleau Patrick. Sometimes when you're looking at stats, it says their last name first, and I'm used to reading them that way, I guess. But Patrick Marleau is one of my favorite players of all time, and my all-time favorite San Jose Sharks player. Next, Wayne Gretzky. I don't know if this is the exact logo from the mid-90s. This might predate that. I can't, like, the red stroke on that's very intense. So I don't actually know if he wore this logo, but he wore a similar logo for sure with some red in it. I just don't know if it was this one, but either way, Wayne Gretzky is the name that came to mind. So I guess Jeremy Roenick came up twice and Wayne Gretzky. Let's continue. Dave Anderchuk. Dave Anderchuk, for sure. Great player back in the day. Could have said Martin St. Louis as well. Lots of names you could have said here, but yeah, Dave Anderchuk. Darcy Tucker. Absolutely. Number one, I love this era of the Maple Leafs. They weren't that great, but it was just such an interesting team. You had Doug Gilmour, Wendell Clark, Darcy Tucker, like so many like iconic kind of names, and they were just such a interesting team. Felix Potvin as well. So I as a Canadiens fan, I obviously didn't like them back then, but I liked the people on the team. I liked the players on the team. I miss those days. Next, I almost said Valerie Bure. Oh my God, Pavel Bure, his brother, the more famous, more talented Pavel Bure, not Valerie Bure. Valerie Bure played for the Montreal Canadiens, the Florida Panthers. Either way, Pavel Bure for sure. Next, the William Karlsson, the Vegas Golden Knights. William Karlsson could have said 100 names here. Dustin Byfuglien. I don't know why I said Dustin Byfuglien. Could have been Mark Scheifele, could have been Blake Wheeler, could have been anyone really. But Dustin Byfuglien was the first thing that came to mind. Next, Dale Hunter, because this is not their current logo. So I'm going to say Dale Hunter from the mid '90s, I guess, for this one, or maybe even early '90s. I can't remember when they exactly used this logo. Maybe even this predates. I can't, maybe this goes back to the inception of the Capitals. I cannot remember, but Dale Hunter was the first name that came to mind. So that was it. Yeah, that's it. Which one threw me for the loop the most? I want to go back to, I think the Islanders, the Islanders one was probably the one that threw me through the loop because I said, for whatever reason, Aaron Asham, which number one is a name that literally no one who is watching this video said out loud either. I am the only person I guarantee who said Aaron Asham. Number two, he didn't even wear the logo, so this one threw me for a loop the most, which is weird because it's the most iconic logo probably in this list. I mean, there's lots. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of iconic logos in here, but the Fisherman is just the Fisherman. So there you have it. I'd be very curious to hear your, or to I guess not hear, but to read down in the comment section what names you said first out loud or thought of if you didn't say them out loud. I'm sure we have many similar ones, but also many differences as well. Like the Islanders, pretty sure you didn't say Aaron Asham. But anyways, would love to read down below your comments and who you said first or who you thought of first. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, would love to have you on board. Hit the subscribe button down below. That helps the channel out a lot. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video, coming tomorrow actually, announcing the winner of the most recent contest. Talk to you then. Adios.